What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and today we're back for another Fortnite video. So what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to be showing you a guide on how to perfect the double pump strategy in Fortnite. So it's going to be kind of tricky to actually find two pump shotguns, but as you can see here I do already have a pump shotgun and we're running the new Tommy gun as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a second pump shotgun and I'm going to be showing you some little tips and tricks that I use to actually make the double pump strategy one of the most effective strategies of play in the game in Fortnite. So I'm going to be showing you the keybinds I use, I'm going to be showing you how to perfect the rhythm of the weapons, and then we're just going to play the game for a little bit of fun and actually use the technique in action. So now that we have two pumps, I can just show you a few tips. The best thing to actually do on the strategy, especially if you're trying to run the double pumps, is actually when you drop in, look at the actual colour of the loot indicator. So for an example, when obviously an item's dropped, you can see what colour the item is and what it's going to be, or give you a general idea of the quality of the item from the sky when you drop in. And that's exactly what I just did then, because I'm looking for a pump and it's going to be really tough to actually get two pumps, especially with the amount of people who have landed here, because we're actually in a 50s game. So I've got one pump so far and we're going to drop that into the second weapon slot, which obviously you can do that or you can put it in the first slot. People have different weapon setups, but obviously for this guide I'm going to be showing you my tips and my weapon setups, which might be slightly different to how you play, so you might not actually find the tips useful if you have different keybinds. For an example, a lot of people do have two shotguns in the first slot and the second slot. Obviously, as you can see, I don't have anything in the first slot, but people do like to run the two shotguns then and then maybe have the third slot for something like a rifle. My preference is basically just running the shotgun in the second and third slots, and I'm going to show you in a moment once we can actually find that second pump, because it's so elusive and hard to actually find two pumps, especially in 50s when there's so many people looting every single shop. I'm going to be showing you how to actually master the double pump strategy, and also a little later in the game I'm going to try and put the method to effect as well. So we're going to be playing a 50s game and I'm going to be seeing how powerful the double pump was. I did use it yesterday and it wasn't so powerful on damage wise, it was just the fact that you can quick switch between them really fast and just keep pumping and pumping until the enemies die, and I guess it has quite a high damage output for the speed you can actually do it at, especially if you're practicing this on 50s. The great thing about 50s, especially why I'm actually playing a lot of 50s right now, is the fact that you can actually speed farm. And what I mean by that is I don't mean you can speed farm like in solo games where you do certain things to farm quicker. It's just the fact that you get more materials because there's more players and less resources spread out between the game, so you do actually get more resources from the things you break. I'm not sure how many resources more you get, but you do. And it does seem we found the second pump. So right now I'm going to be showing you the methods we're going to be using, and I'm just going to do it quickly though because it does seem like the zone's coming in. To have the double pump strategy, the best thing what you need to do is actually have some keybinds. So you can switch between 3 and 4 on the letters on the keyboard, which is the default keybinds, but what I like to do is I like to bind the buttons to my mouse. Obviously with your right hand, when you've got your mouse available in your right hand, it's really simple, but not everybody can do this because not everybody has mouse buttons on their actual mouse, because certain gaming mouse models have a lot of different buttons, but then again some models don't have any buttons at all. A lot of people do have the side buttons on the mouse. I'm just going to quickly show you the mouse. As you can see, there's actually two buttons, there's one here and one here, so there and there, and both of these buttons are really useful. I don't use the top button very much, but what I have done is I've binded the top button to actually build, so I can build walls really quickly, but I don't really tend to use that because I'm so used to using F1 and it's a little bit harder to reach when you're moving. But the bottom bind, or the second one down, which is mouse 5 on my mouse, might be a little different on certain models. I use that to switch to my pump shotgun, which is the second weapon in the slot, and then what I do is I run the second shotgun in the third weapon slot. And how I actually switch to that is I use the middle mouse button. So originally I used the middle mouse button to talk, but what I do is I click the middle mouse button down and it switches to the second pump. So it's really easy to switch between the two. I don't have to reach any certain buttons, I don't have to make sure I'm pressing the right number key. It's really effective and it's really simple. And obviously if you want to change your binds and you don't know how to do it, this little setting wheel here and the keyboard, and you can see under weapon slot 2, which is obviously the second weapon slot, and weapon slot 3 is where you need to put the binds. Now there's two boxes. By default it'll say 3 and 4 here, and what you want to do is you want to click the second box and then press the button you want it to bind to, and you can do that on both, whichever keys you want to actually switch between each weapon. This is really useful that there's two binds, because what you can do is you can actually use the original keyboard binds of the number keys as well as the mouse keys. So if you do need to switch to it in the original way as well, because your mouse is either broken or you can't press it or you just forget for any other reason, it's actually really useful. So there's two binds, so you can switch between it either way, but the quickest way that I've found is actually using these mouse binds, the middle mouse button and mouse 5, because when you're in a fight, you don't want to be seeing if you're pressing the right buttons to actually pull your pumps out, because they're hard to hit as it is, so you want to just focus on the hip fire aiming. So this is just a really useful strategy just to take away certain burdens of things you need to remember when fighting with double pumps. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get into a bit of a fighting. So that is the double pump strategy. Use these simple keybinds and learn the rhythm of the shotgun. Now a lot of these guides just tell you that you need to learn the rhythm and you need to switch between them. What's actually really useful is in the new update there's actually a little spinning circle, and it shows you the cooldown of the weapon switch, so you know how long it's going to take to switch between the weapons. Use this to your advantage and just practice with the double pumps and try and switch between them quickly and try and aim at people and see how many shots you can hit and just see how you do. And you need to practice this a lot of times for it to work, and don't be discouraged because this is a really strong meta and it's a really powerful strategy, but sometimes it's kind of based on luck. So you might hit a 7 damage shot whereas another shot could hit like 100 or 150, so it's kind of like a hit or miss. But if you do learn the technique, eventually you will actually master it, and it's a really strong strategy to use, especially when you're pushing someone or in a close range fight. I found that the damage output is really nice to finish people off really quickly. So if the guide was useful for you in any way, then do smash the like button and leave a comment below. Also subscribe to the channel for daily Fortnite videos and much more. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. La